Hey everybody, hello from Houston, and wanted to go over just kind of the last night and what we've been doing, and just take a minute to reflect on the great work that you've done in the last 12 weeks. So hello from Houston. My friends they have a guest house that they built onto their house, so it's super fun. And I will share this with you that this is when you know you have great friends. They put into the guest house for me this beautiful bouquet of fresh flowers, because they rock. This is the fun part of getting to come see you all over the country. So today, what I want to go over is some of the benefits of being in the 12-week year, why it's an honor for me to be with you. And we have 2 more options for you in the year, 4 sessions. So we're going to take a break. And the purpose of the break is actually very real. The purpose of the break is that you can start to set something down, let it sit for a minute, and then come back to it. And if you've ever if you're a writer, you know that sometimes you have to set that work down and then just walk away, come back to it, and you'll come back to it with new eyes, new resonance, and it just feels better, and you can opt in. Remember, agency is the ability, that desire to opt in. So we actually have to take a break so that you have that energy to opt in again. We don't just keep go. It just doesn't work for any of our lives. So take the time off and really take it off. That yes, you have goals that you're doing, but I'm going to encourage you to just breathe. Take your Sunday mornings. Notice that you don't have, that you can sleep in, or that you don't have this thing at night or whatever. Notice that it's not there, and let that presence of non-presence feel some sort of way. And it is one of the things about that is that it gives you a chance to really find out if what you'd built in the previous 12 weeks was working for you. Because as you do this time over again, for those of you who are maybe watching this because it was your first time, you really learn a lot in that first round. You really come in differently at your second round. It's really a lot different on your third round. So as you're doing it multiple times, you will start to really recognize that your old patterns really didn't work, and that they really didn't, they were only able to multiply at some level. So by taking on a group with accountability, first of, I remember, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing your real self. But coming to a group allows you to share yourself in a safe place with other people that can support you. And that can support you in, sometimes just them speaking their truth allows you to speak your truth. So what will also happen for you by taking a break will be that you'll start to feel, oh, what does it feel like to be me again? And how can I lean back in? And what are the different things that this process can do for me, right? Because the idea of this group is for you to love on you. I mean, I'm going to love on you, and all the people are going to love on you. But the purpose of this is to really say, let me love on myself. And it's holding that self in esteem. So I took some notes, and one of the things that I really, again, I remind people that love is an act of rebellion. Loving yourself is an act of rebellion. It takes effort. You sometimes have to kind of, I'm going to do this. But what ends up happening is a quote from someone else in the group, which is, the more that you put you first, the less fatigued you are for the things that you would have put last. So suddenly doing the things that actually benefit you, by putting those first, you're not fatigued when you're doing them. So they're not always expected to be at the end of the line. It's astonishing how many people take their own feelings and their own goals and their own everything, and they give it their position at the very end. And what I'm constantly telling people, right, there's a kinder, gentler, thoughtful, more loving way to be in the world. And if you choose that, you will have more of everything. The magnification point from that is really powerful. And to magnify from a place of I'm first, I get to have first, right? I get to have the flowers of my life first. That, oh my gosh, and they're so fragrant. And they have flowers out there. But if I get to give to myself first, I'm not always exhausted at the end. And what ends up happening is we end up opting out of things that aren't healthy for us. We end up opting out of things that there just isn't time for or there isn't room for. But we've gotten our flowers first. And that is really powerful. So love is an act of rebellion, and learning to love yourself is a practiced behavior. We have been trained out of loving ourselves a lot. So you need to not do that. And the only way to not do that is to practice loving yourself more. So again, I think that's one of the things that it is, I wrote down this note, right? That the mind shift for many people is learning to put yourself first. And that's a powerful mind shift. And I think it's really useful to practice with other people and practice openly, because in the groups, there's always someone who you didn't know you would find so much benefit from giving you benefit. The other thing that I want to say about the 12 weeks is that as we kind of come to the end of the 12 weeks, I would take the time to really figure out what you're proud of for yourself, of what is the progress that felt right. Again, you will start to feel differently about the accomplishment itself. You will start to feel differently about opting in. You will start to feel different about choosing yourself and your own goals and ideas before you choose that outside world. And I don't know what that's called, but I like it. And I like watching you do it. I like doing it for myself, of just taking a minute. The other thing that I think was very powerful about this list of notes that I have from today of, right, what did you take it? What did you take it? For those of you who are high achiever, go, 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 what the 12-week year does offer you is it gives you the chance to say there's this other pattern of getting to a goal, and it's just an other pattern. But that other pattern actually is more beneficial to you. And when you're just action, when you're always that energy, this gives you a chance to pick a different energy, and a different energy that is more just task oriented. It's a different energy. It's not the energy of I have to have all of this acceleration point. It's the energy of going, oh, let me check in and then accelerate. Let me check in, then accelerate. Let me check in, then accelerate. And what ends up happening is the line itself moves. So most people are used to saying, it start and then finish. It start, then finish. And now we're really saying, oh, here's the start. There's lots of steps here. Let me start, move a little bit, and the line itself moves, right? Because we're a little bit further. Let me check in, move here. Let me check in, move here. Let me check in, move here. And what ends up happening is it allows you a much kinder palate. It's more, it becomes just more palatable. It's easier to munch on these small tasks. The other thing I was very proud of everyone doing is a lot of you started paying attention to the time it takes to do a task. I think that is something that you will become more and more accountable to. I think you'll be holding not yourself more accountable, but I think you'll be holding the task accountable for the time that the task needs. So one of the examples is that when you start to time yourself, how long does it actually take to get this chore done? So just paying attention and making a mental note that it actually, so I'll give you an example that I have another property that I have to drive to all the time. So when I'm going to that property, I used to think, oh gosh, it's only 10 minutes away. And I always felt late. Well, because it's not 10 minutes away. It's 20 minutes away. So I just started Google mapping my chores to go, oh, well, it actually takes 11 minutes to drive to the bank to and from. So now I can gauge, do I actually have time to do that? And it allows me to fit in my tasks more efficiently into the life that I actually live. So when you are working at what you've learned, please just take some time and really start to think about what are the things that I learned emotionally, what are the things that I learned with just the constraints of time? What did I learn about my tasks themselves? What did I learn about my tactics and the energy that it takes to do those tactics? And what did I learn about being in community and being a valued part of community? And that also meant that you showed up and you put something in. And it is also very difficult to want to be in a group when you're not a shining star. And that, if I could have you walk away with one task in accountability group, is that if you can just be your natural self, one, this will prove to you that that's enough. Flawed or not, just show up as yourself, and that is enough. And the other part is that then allow other people to show up as themselves and really think that is enough. This tiny little thing changes everyone's perspective of life. It gives them a freedom. It gives you a way to set your shoulders down and really understand. When I say you are enough, a lot of times people go, oh yeah, I have to be enough. Well, it's another thing. It's quite another thing to understand that that is enough in community. And that right there is incredibly powerful, to be in a space where people are not there to tear you down. And it also allows people to start to magnify out very differently, that we can be our imperfect self on a journey without it figured out. Sometimes it's musty and dusty, and we can still receive support while we're in process. And that is really like mind-blowing for most people in community, because we all have to kind of sit back in that time and hear everybody's story in the week and process that silently, right? We're not listening to respond. We're actually listening to listen and take notes. There are so many things that go on in group that I think the more you do it, the more you'll realize the benefit for yourself in having a sense of well-being. And that is the hope. That's the bigger hope, is that you can, the more that you can be in community that supports you being you, and the more that you come into community as you being you, and the more open you are about what it is that you're doing with your life, or where you're lost, or where you're struggling, or where it's great, or where it's, a little musty and dusty, and where it's a little shiny and bright, the more you're willing to be just open about those things, the easier it is to receive, the easier it is for new things to come in, the easier it is to just sit in the light and shine a little bit and just enjoy that sparkle. Because it's so fun. It's so fun. It's so fun to go, oh, this is going to be a sparkly pit. And randomly, I was in the hot tub with my friend who gave me these lovely flowers. Let's just look at them one more time. My lovely friend. And I said, oh, good, I'm in the hot tub. My ring I'm going to have to take a picture of my ring tomorrow, because my husband's going to love that it sparkles so much, because that chlorine just cleans that ring up so good. It gets all the stuff out. And, it's just taking a minute, and I showed it to him, and we were in the moonlight, and the moonlight just shined on my ring, and he's like, oh my gosh, that is a sparkler. I said, yeah, I know. It's great. It's great. Be sure to tell my husband, because he likes it when it sparkles, right? So sometimes it's just taking a minute to think about these really very subtle ways that you are loving yourself, that you are holding yourself, and that you are learning to be well within and well within community. And so I hope that is what you take with you. So with that, thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for loving yourself. Thank you for being willing to go on this random little 1 hour a week journey with me, because it's very meaningful. And I'm really, really proud of you. I'm really proud of you and what you are doing. So goodbye from Houston. I will see you hopefully soon.